Hi, my name is Joanna Whitney. I am an intuitive artist, a student of natural law, and an energy healer. And we're reading the sorry guys, the Kabbalion by the Three Initiates. Um, I've been having some experiences with this work this week that I'll share. Um, the reason I'm doing this, there's a few reasons why I'm doing this. Okay, one was because I felt like I needed to go back to basics on what is natural law. The immutable laws that govern the behavior of beings who have the capacity to know right and wrong. And 7 of them are in this book, plus a few others. There's a few others in here. And there's, the basic do not steal. That's the basic. It's apophatic, apophatic, like what it is not, because we have the right to do anything here. You can just observe birds, squirrels, animals, see what they do. However, we have the neocortex, which animals don't have. They have the mammalian brain, which we also have in this part of our brain. It's the mammalian brain. We have the reptilian brain at the base, and then we have the neocortex. The neocortex is a higher brain. So we do have more responsibility, and we were given stewardship of this planet, not dominion as it's been interpreted by the dark occult Luciferians who want to just, basically leave this place an empty stone. Yeah, that's kind of what they're doing right now, and then blaming it on us. But for whatever nefarious purpose theirs is. I mean, you could watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's a kind of an analogy of what the whole deal is with them. Sadly, I thought it was just a fun cult film in the 70s, but actually it's whatever, predictive programming. So yeah, that basically tells you what they're doing here. They're just visiting from transsexual Transylvania, came here to make everybody have sex with each other, create a different type of human, and then leave. That's their plan. Oh, by the way, while killing off cannibalism, it's all in that movie. You could watch it. Anyway, but natural law here on planet Earth works, but basically it's don't steal, other lives, the lives of other sentient beings. And that's a dilemma for us, because a lot of us seem to need to eat animal flesh. So we each have to figure that out for ourselves and work it out. What level of morality that is. Of course, I could get a huge backlash from that statement, but I mean, I do agree that animals are equal to us in life, like I shouldn't steal their lives. However, weaning oneself off meat is very difficult for some of us. So, you just work it out. I really am not going to get into that whole thing. You could watch the film Earthling. It's available free on YouTube. I'll try to put that in the description to show how humans treat animals. It's not good. And how that creates the cruelty itself creates, I can't remember exactly what they called it, but it's like a level of cruelty, like a level of pain and agony in the etheric realm that, the law of cause and effect, we cause that harm collectively, and then we reap that reap that. We reap what we sow collectively. So that's why I am so adamant personally about trying to live according to natural law, so that I don't have to reap all of the karma of the collective. I mean, I do reap some of it. I mean, because I'm human and I'm part of this collective. But I try to adhere to natural law as best as I personally can and share about it with other people. That's the other thing. Once you learn this stuff, it kind of becomes each individual person's responsibility to share that with everyone, because now the dark Luciferian agenda is to obliterate knowledge of natural law so that they can infiltrate us with their satanic ideology, which is do as thou wilt. That means basically do whatever you want and don't think about whether it's causing harm to anyone else. But that is going to create chaos here on Earth. So living by, don't steal basically means I don't steal others' lives. So don't murder sentient beings. Don't steal other people's property. Taxation is theft. Don't trespass on other people's property without asking. There's so many ways to apply this. I mean, it may sound abstract to you, but like I have the inalienable right to self-ownership. Therefore, nobody can tell me whether I have to put a piece of cloth over my nose and mouth to enter a public accommodation. That is trespass. And I guess, that sign that says, no shirts, have to have a shirt and shoes to enter the building. We've just been going along with that for years, not realizing that we were setting ourselves up for trespass now. But just something to think about. I know the mask mandates, which are just strong suggestions, are not in effect right now, but so many people just succumb to that, and it's a violation of my inalienable rights of self-ownership. And that was a trespass upon that. So then there's coercion, which is theft of all the information so that I make decisions without all the information. And there's theft of my lair. I have an inalienable right to have my lair where I live. That's also probably trespass, but theft of sexual space, which is rape. So, those are the basic apophatic points of view of violations of natural law. And then there's also these natural laws in here as well. So this is more of a spiritual point of view on it all. And I just want to say my experience with it this week. I've been experimenting with the phrase that all is in the all, and the all is in all. And I think that we have a lot more power than we realize. I want to just say that this is where our power is that we have declarative power to, if there's a situation that happens that's difficult, if I declare God is in everything and everything is in God, which is another way of saying the all is in all and all is in the all. Actually like the more formal, the all is in all and all is in the all. I like that because God is in everything and everything is in God is harder for me to visualize, honestly. And then the other thing I can do is I can take that pattern that's behind me, the Flower of Life pattern, into my mind's eye, and I can lay it over whatever the situation is. And then walk away from the situation. I declare that the all is in all and all is in the all, or God is in everything and everything is in God. I visualize the Flower of Life pattern or some other sacred geometry pattern, whatever one you like, but this one is the basic pattern. And then I just decide or say that it's going to be taken care of. God's going to take care of it. And it seems to work. It seems to work. This is how I can be the most helpful in situations that are difficult or that I know are out of alignment with natural law. So I've observed that, okay, for me as a human to declare that there is no separation between the evil I see and God, that it's only a part of the natural breaking down of life. That, I mean, life is, it's the law of rhythm, which we're going to get to. There's cycles to life. There's birth, there's toddler side, toddler, there's teenager or kid, teenager, young adult, and then, that's a planes of maturity, and then you enter into the decline. This is the cycle of life. So evil exists if you separate pieces of that and take them out and look at them separately. That's how evil exists. Now, I know that there's horrible shit going on. Don't trust me. I know all about it. I've educated myself thoroughly on, pedophilia, the cannibalism, high adept Satanism. I know all about everything that's going on, okay? But I'm here. All I can do with that, to me, is to pray, to declare into that the all is in all and all is in the all, to try to bring that back together into a unity. This may sound really new age to you, but this is what I do. I have practice at it and experience with it. And then, so it's like planting a seed in the earth. Like, you plant that seed of the all is in all and all is in the earth, and then you leave it alone. You water it with your declaration, and then you leave it alone so that it can take root in the life force. And you can also cultivate your own life force through various methods. There's a lot of stuff out there where you can cultivate that so that you can have more mental strength. That's what I've been doing, basically, is working with the energy. I'm an energy healer. I do the emotion code, body code, and the belief code. And that's helping me. It's opening me up, because that's Chinese medicine, ancient Chinese medicine in another modality. But there's other forms of Chinese medicine that each individual person can start to engage in, like Qigong, or you can yoga, different things. Like, you can start to tune into your energy, and then that will strengthen your power when you declare that the all is in all and all is in the all. I have seen miracles happen with that, where basically the people who are asleep to this information, which is a lot of people, will just fall back into alignment with natural law when I make that declaration. So, this is how I can actively participate in my world, in the topsy-turvy chaos that you may or may not be seeing out there. I mean, I'd say there's more chaos online than there is actually in the true world. So, keeping the focus on nature, that nature's laws are in effect, and I want to be aligned with them and tuned into them. And because I have an intellect, my intellect has the, I would call it a detriment, but whatever, to separate and focus on negativity. And that is my negative power. So this is my experience this week, is applying that the all is in all and all is in the all. So that was a huge lesson for me about separation and unity. And I'm just thinking about what was done to us several years ago, where we were separated from each other, told to stand 6 feet apart, told that we couldn't socialize with each other. That is subversion, the separation, the satanic Luciferian crap. And it's basically saying that the all is not in all, and all is not in the all. That is basically what the system is saying. So to fight against the system, I need to align myself with it, and through my actions and my thoughts and my speech. My thoughts, emotions, and actions. And the metaphysicians, okay, claim that you have to feel it, okay, but I would assert that you don't actually have to feel it. That is an infiltration. I think my experience with this is that the more I declare it, then the feeling will come soon through my heart chakra. But I can declare this stuff verbally and be causal, whether I feel it or not. So with that, I'm going to start chapter 8. Planes of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. The Kabbalion. The great second Hermetic principle embodies the truth that there is a harmony, agreement, and correspondence between the several planes of manifestation, life, and being. This truth is a truth because all that is included in the universe emanates from the same source. The same laws, principles, and characteristics apply to each unit or combination of units of activity as each manifests its own phenomena upon its own plane. For the purpose of convenience of thought and study, the Hermetic philosophy considers that the universe may be divided into 3 great classes of phenomena known as the 3 great planes, namely the great physical plane, the great mental plane, the great spiritual plane. These divisions are more or less artificial and arbitrary, for the truth is that all of the 3 divisions are but ascending degrees of the great scale of life, the lowest point of which is in undifferentiated matter, the highest point that of spirit. And moreover, the different planes shade into each other, so that no hard and fast division may be made between the higher phenomena of the physical and the lower of the mental, or between the higher of the mental and the lower of the physical. In short, the 3 great planes may be regarded as 3 great groups of degrees of life manifestation. While the purposes of this little book do not allow us to enter into an extended discussion of or explanation of the subject of these different planes, still we think it well to give a general description of the same at this point. There's many other books that will get deeply into this stuff if you want to get into it. And like the work of Walter Russell, John Keeley, let's see if I can remember the name of that. Sympathetic. I'll have to put it in my, I did this last week. I can't remember. SVP. Walter Russell, Ether Force. There's a lot of people talking about this stuff, writing about it. quantum physics, is the basic well-known thing. Again, ancient Chinese medicine, Qigong, acupuncture, acupressure, all of that is talking about what they're talking about here, because everything is energy. So if you want to get in depth about it, you can. At the beginning, we may as well consider the question so often asked by the neophyte who desires to be informed regarding the meaning of the word plane. The word plane with a T at the end is planet, oddly. All right, so back to this. The word plane, which term has been very freely used and very poorly explained in many recent works upon the subject of occultism. The question is generally about as follows. Is a plane a place having dimensions, or is it merely a condition or state? We answer no, not a place, nor ordinary dimension of space, and yet more than a state or condition. It may be considered as a state or condition, and yet the state or condition is a degree of dimension in a scale subject to measurement. Somewhat paradoxical, is it not? But let us examine the matter. A dimension, is a measure in a straight line relating to measure, etc. The ordinary dimensions of space are length, breadth, and height, or perhaps length, breadth, height, thickness, or circumference. But there is another dimension of created things, which is quoted. So there's another dimension of, quote, created things, unquote, or measure, or, quote, measure in a straight line, unquote, known to occultists and to scientists as well, although the latter have not as yet applied the term, quote, dimension, unquote, to it. And this new dimension, which, by the way, is much speculated about, fourth dimension, is the standard used in determining the degrees or planes. So they're referring to this spiritual dimension as the fourth dimension, and 1908. Okay, maybe we all have different perspectives on that now, but this was what they called it in 1908. The fourth dimension may be called the dimension of vibration. That's in quotes, the dimension of vibration. It is a fact well known to modern science, as well as to the Hermetists who have embodied the truth in their, quote, third Hermetic principle, end quote, that everything is in motion, everything vibrates, nothing is at rest. From the highest manifestation to the lowest, everything and all things vibrate. Not only do they vibrate at different rates of motion, but as in different directions and in a different manner. The degrees of the rate of vibrations constitute the degrees of measurement in the scale of vibrations. In other words, the degrees of the fourth dimension. And these degrees form what occultists call planes. The higher the degree of rate of vibration, the higher the plane, and the higher the manifestation of life occupying that plane. So that while a plane is not a, quote, a place, end quote, nor yet, quote, a state or condition, end quote, yet it possesses qualities common to both. We shall have more to say regarding the subject of the scale of vibrations in our next lessons, in which we shall consider the Hermetic principle of vibration. You will kindly remember, however, that the great planes are not actually divisions of the phenomena of the universe, but merely arbitrary terms used by the Hermetists in order to aid in the thought and study of the various degrees and forms of universal activity and life. The atom of matter, the unit of force, the mind of man, and the being of the archangel are all but degrees in one scale, and all fundamentally the same. The difference being solely a matter of degree and rate of vibration. All creations of, quote, of capitalized, the all, and have their existence solely within the infinite mind of the all. And I'm going to stop there because, see, this is verifying what I just said, and it's something that really needs to be thought about and experienced, because they've divided these planes arbitrarily with these terms, and therefore that causes separation in our minds. Like, I'm here in the physical world in my meat suit, and I have to, pay the bills and drive the car and get gas and, all that crap, separate from the mental plane. My thoughts, while I'm doing that, I'm like listening to the radio, and I'm, mulling over my disagreement with this one and that one, the other one. And then we have the spiritual plane too. And, we meditate. It's all separated. Like, I meditate, and then I think about how much I hate so-and-so or whatever. And then I go put gas in my car. Those are three separate things in my mind. However, my discipline needs to be to try to declare that the all is in all and all is in the all. And the power that that statement has when it comes out of my mouth, the phonetics, the vibration of my phonetics, what that does to me spiritually, and how I affect the world by my actions, by my declaration, is something that you have to experience yourself using various techniques. I've listed a few here already. Simply slowing down enough to pay attention. Like, for example, here's another thing: praying over your food and water. I don't know how many people do that anymore. I never was taught to do that as a child. So for me to do it, it's going to be an added discipline. However, I do have a Berkey water filter, and I do declare when I approach it, I ask God to structure the water for me. And, I don't know if anybody knows this. I did not know this, but recently I found out that the misters at the health food store that's misting the vegetables are simply using tap water to mist the vegetables. And I learned that organic vegetables are watered with city tap water sometimes, or even what's it called? Fracking water. And organic vegetables might be fertilized with manure from factory farms. So I can pray over the food. I can declare that the all is in all and all is in the all about food, but I have to do it consistently. It's not something I just do one time and then it's done. I have to do this on a moment-to-moment basis with everything. This is how people used to live. They were more attuned to every action that they took. They weren't just, running from room to room, thinking about, whatever, something else other than what they were doing, Like, I have to think about everything that I'm doing, stay 100% present in the moment, and bring these concepts into every action I take. Yeah, this is a tall order, right? It's a totally tall order, but just do your best. Every little bit helps. If you haven't been praying over your food, start praying over your food. If you have somebody in your life who eats the sad diet and you're on your way to a restaurant with them, because, all restaurants now pretty much, unless they have a scratch kitchen, which is so unusual. And what's the source of the food? Is it organic? Probably not. Can you imagine the exorbitant prices it would be if it was organic? Most of it's coming from Cisco, honestly. So, as I'm going to the restaurant with blah, blah, because I don't want to be selfish and, separate myself from others, I pray that God makes that food nutritious for me. for us. I pray that. And I ask for it to be restructured. And I declare that God is in everything and everything is in God, including that food. And by doing that, I have power. That's what you have. That's what we have to believe. Like right now, I can say for myself, I come from, that's bullshit. That can't possibly be true. But that's just what I've been conditioned into believing, that my actions have no effect. But that is the lie. That is the total lie. So that's my message for this week. And we'll start up again on page 57 at the top of the page next time.